Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SifaCraft podcast. Your hosts this week are me, Sifa, and then we also have Hijack,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Kitty K,
Hey guys.
Cruz,
Hello, everybody.
and our special guest this week is Seamus.
Hey, yo.
Alright, guys, how's everyone doing?
Oh, just like always kicking ass.
Same here.
I heard that.
Alright, 3 ass kickers in the
Three
house.
ass kickers.
Awesome.
And
Okay,
Seamus.
guys,
Seamus, have you been
Seamus.
kicking any ass lately?
I
Seamus?
don't
Yeah.
think I've really been kicking any ass recently. No, I
Oh,
feel kind of left
man.
out right now.
Oh man.
Well, I do remember you kicking ass in Water Temple fairly recently.
Oh, there is that.
Good
You
times.
know, I realized, as I haven't actually edited my footage for that, but I dropped it in, Vegas, and I was looking through it a little bit, and I realized that I had cut my recording, and I have absolutely no Seamus.
Oh
Like I
my
said, all-
god.
I know, and I
Man.
feel so bad, but I never liked that guy anyway, so...
Yeah, screw that guy. It serves me
Okay.
right for showing up at the tail end of it.
Okay, guys, first thing, we have SifaCraft news. The Joker pack is currently being beta tested.
Oh yeah.
So we got a lot of good things to look forward to that. I'm pretty excited. I know everyone else is excited for that.
Oh yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
itching to play it.
So much fun.
Yep, I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
So as far as our current players, I don't have a whole lot going on. I've obviously been uploading my vanilla series sparingly, and got a couple other series that I'm kind of trying to figure out which one I want to do and if I want to do it. And one of those is probably going to be Crash Landings, which I know you guys know.
Yes.
So, Hijack, what do you got going on this past couple weeks?
Well, I've been still been busting out the Fallout 3. Still been running with Morrowind. Obviously Borderlands 2 with Cruz.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be coming out with some more Divinity Original Sin, also with Cruz coming up. It's been a little bit of a hiatus, but it's coming back. And hopefully we'll have some Path of Exile here pretty soon. Hopefully with
Featuring
not
Kitty.
not just Cruz, but also Kitty as well.
I remember reading somewhere, wasn't it like yesterday or a couple days ago, there was a new expansion out for that. Or some new
Yeah,
content.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a great big new update. I think Kitty knows more about that specifically though.
I think it came out on the 20th. I actually don't know too many of the details. I'd have to go check that out.
Kitty, what do you got going on? More Skyrim?
I figured it was time to maybe divert from Skyrim, so I tried Morrowind for a change of pace. It's
Oh,
it's actually quite a bit of a learning curve going back to Morrowind, so that's it's gonna end
Yeah.
up being much more challenging than I had imagined. And a little bit of Don't Starve as well. I got back into that.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
I heard
doing
that.
yeah.
Speaking of Don't Starve, I actually heard some news today at work from a buddy of mine. He said that the beta is gonna come out next month for the Don't Starve multiplayer.
Oh.
And I guess there's going to be a feature in it, and it's a really cool feature that if you die, you can like stick around and haunt. You can haunt the other players. They can't see you, but you can like haunt them. And yeah, I'm not really sure how it works, but if you
by like blowing their ears or something?
I don't know, man. Maybe, but I don't know if you like possess entities or whatever. But you have like a life
You can
force bar
pants
or
them while
something
they're
like that, and if you reach a certain amount of this haunting ability or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, then they can resurrect you and bring you back to life. So I thought that was kind of a cool
Nice.
Oh
little addition.
wow.
Okay, I'm actually really happy with that because I was kind of wondering how they were going to handle this. Because one of the things with Don't Starve is the extreme death penalty, right?
Yeah.
But if you're doing multiplayer, what do you
Yeah.
do? Do you just respawn and essentially there is no death penalty? So I'm actually I'm glad to hear that they're handling it like this.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it a little bit, but
I'm really looking forward to playing some multiplayer Don't Starve with you guys.
yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kitty, anything else?
No, it's pretty much just been that. My next up is going to be a Mark of the Ninja. I got that recently, so give that a shot.
Mark, what's that about?
Interesting.
You basically you wake up and you have a giant bowl of stealth, and you just go around destroying people, pretty much from what I could tell.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
With a
I'm very excited
bowl
to
of
give it a shot.
stealth.
A bowl
Big
of
old-
stealth.
Do you like
A
eat it
bowl
with?
of
Do you eat it with
stealth.
like chopsticks, or
No, with
do you
your
just like
hands.
drink out of the bowl?
With
A
your
big
hands.
old greasy bowl of stealth.
So quick, the stealth doesn't even know you're eating it.
Did you ever try out Oblivion? I know you were saying that you were gonna try that.
I didn't get a chance to try Oblivion, but that's.
Oh man,
I'm definitely going to get to that as well.
it's such a good game.
Seamus, what do you got going on, brother?
Currently I'm actually in the middle of a move, so content won't be coming out for a little while yet, but I do hope to be putting out some Minecraft videos from both the beta and the vanilla server sometime
Absolutely.
soon.
Which I would like to step in on Seamus's behalf here, and I'm gonna bug him about this until he does it.
Ah,
But we have, which you'll see. Well, I believe Hijack, you got your first video up for the water temple, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and I've got mine up. I'll have mine up soon. But we have conquered a water temple, and I have actually been working on getting it drained out and everything. But Seamus had some pretty darn cool ideas for making a guardian grinder.
I do actually. I do want to try and build a guardian grinder just so we have plenty of the prismarine. That way, we have all the blocks available to build with, and we aren't really hindered as far as different designs and builds we can do. So I am definitely looking into that. And there are a couple designs that have been made so far, but I kind of want to mix and match and kind of make it more personal.
Kind of like a custom grinder.
Yeah, well, speaking of custom, what about like the combination poison spider spawner?
That is that
Grinder
will be
and
really
guardian.
cool. Yeah, there's
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'll
sorry.
tell you, dude, the more I don't know, I guess we'd have to map out how close they are, because they're probably not close enough to really matter. But I've been exploring that mine shaft, and there's at least 4 spider spawners in that place.
Oh wow. Stay
Well,
out of there.
We could always have someone just stand there and just like AFK to like spawn them, and we could just like truck them around.
Sure, there you go.
Yeah.
I was also going to experiment with minecarts to see if you could load multiple chunks by moving in and out of them quickly, but that still needs some testing.
Yeah, well, whatever you do, I will be looking forward to seeing it, and I think that will make a really really good video. Hint hint, nudge nudge.
Yep.
All right, Cruz.
Yes, sir.
My man, what do you got going on?
Well, obviously I got Borderlands 2 going on with Hijack, of course. That's going to be going on until we finish the game and all the DLC, probably. It's a
And
great game.
even and probably the pre-sequel too.
Oh yeah, the pre-sequel, of course. Crash Landings is about to end for me. I've got that one more quest to do, and then I'm done. But I'm thinking about kind of dragging it on, to like making, like doing like a cool build or something. I don't know, just to kind of keep it around because it's a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it.
Well, oh, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
no, go ahead. What's up?
Well, what I was going to say, just I guess advise you a little bit, is to, once you get the quest log done, once there's nothing you're actively building towards or doing, you can always throttle that back a little bit.
Yeah,
Release, not as often as you do, and just when you have an idea, even once a week.
Right.
But I can definitely kind of see as that. The problem I see with an ongoing Crash Landing series is that once you get to the part where you're no longer struggling for resources, all of a sudden it kind of becomes any other modded LP.
Yeah, in a sense, definitely. I mean, you still have the hunger overhaul and like the thirst you have to worry about, but other than that, yeah, it's
Right.
But I've been thinking about, and I've gotten some comments on some of my previous videos saying that the 1.1.2 version and the upcoming 1.1.3 version have randomly generated cities or ruins
Oh.
scattered about. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe once I get finished with this, I could start a new series, Crash Landings, and it'd be a lot harder too because playing in 1.1.1, you don't have the special mobs enabled, you don't have the zombie awareness and all that kind of stuff. So it's it's been kind of taking it easy on me. So I'd kind of like to try, upping the ante a little bit. It'd
You've
be kinda
also
fun.
been kicking around the idea of doing a Agrarian Skies as well,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. I have a couple episodes recorded, but I don't know if I'm going to release those or if I'm just going to go back to another Crash Landings. Uh, because Agrarian Skies, everyone's familiar with Agrarian Skies. Everybody knows it. Crash Landings is a little bit more, you know, it's a little people don't seem to know a whole lot about it, and I don't know. It just seems a lot more fun to me because you have the thirst and all that. Whereas in Agrarian Skies, you don't really have the thirst. And Agrarian Skies is fun, but some of those quests are just so tedious. Like you need, 800 billion pieces of lettuce or whatever. It's like, come on, man. It's just crazy. But it's a great mod pack. Don't get me wrong, but Crash Landings
Oh yeah,
just seems.
Jaded Cat knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah. So and yeah, besides that, I've been doing Wasteland 2 since they updated it. I don't know if it's still in beta or not because it doesn't say anywhere on the main screen that it's in beta. So I think this is like the final version of it. So
Yeah, I thought it was the release.
but I don't think it's like officially released yet or something. Maybe that's like for the physical copies. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm playing that, and man, that's a good game. That's a really good game. I really wish that it was multiplayer though. I think it'd be so much better.
Well, I wanted to actually talk to you briefly about a video that you uploaded.
Mhm.
Dude, we see all that shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Fucking RedTube.
What is it?
No. Your video for Five Nights
Yes.
at what's the full name of the game?
Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Hijack, I know that you were planning on playing this, so you didn't want to know much about it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it okay to kind of talk a little bit about the premise of it, though?
All right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll survive.
All right. Now, 2 points that I wanted to bring up on this, actually. Today, we as a family actually watched your video,
Oh.
and it
scared the shit out of me, man.
it made me okay. I watched it this morning.
Uh-huh.
And then I told Mrs. Sifa and Sifa Jr. and Katie Cat, I'm like, you guys, you got to come watch this video with me. And
Dude, let me just tell you.
oh my god,
it's an anxiety attack from beginning to end. Like,
well, the reaction from my kids was perfect. Katie actually screamed,
yes.
let out an actual scream.
All right.
And Sifa Jr., it wasn't a scream. It was like this squeak. Like like someone stepped on a hamster. And that's the only thing I could,
Oh, that's terrible.
And and Mrs. Sifa had a pretty good jump too.
Yeah.
But it was excellent. And I got to tell you, man, what made it so great was your genuine anxiety.
Man, I really want to go back and try to see if I can, get farther than I did. But I'm like, I don't want to play it because it just, man, it drained me. It was just like so much anxiety. It was insane.
Okay.
It's a great game.
I got to tell you this story, and I'm not going to really give anything away. However, the premise, obviously you learn the premise of it within the first 30 seconds of the game.
Right.
So
right.
there's no surprises as far as story goes for that.
Mm.
So, but I got to talk to you about this because this actually hit home with me.
Okay.
Very, very close to home, man. The premise of this game is that you are a security guard, a night watchman,
Mm-hmm.
essentially at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, pretty
Is
much.
basically what it is, and the animatronic characters on there, have a life of their own essentially at night.
Yes.
Now, when I was in 4th grade, I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese like a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in 4th grade, we had an actual class trip, like the second to last day of school, and the whole all of 4th grade went to Chuck E. Cheese, and during this time they actually had the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and his friends,
Yeah.
playing their instruments, and it was stupid. It's terrible. But I remember later on kind of thinking about it because it was like the first animatronics that I had ever actually seen up close.
Yeah.
And what's really eerie about this, and apparently I'm obviously not the first one to have these thoughts, was I envisioned after the place closed down, these animatronic characters all of a sudden just, getting off the stage and having their own life.
Yeah.
And what's really crazy about it, and why it hit so close to home, was I went to sleep thinking about that, actually.
Mm.
And because of that, I had one of the craziest nightmares of my life. That actually, so this game, man, this Five Nights game,
Yeah.
quite literally, is one of my nightmares
You
made
live out
into
your
a video
nightmare.
game.
I highly recommend it then.
Yeah, and I want to see it. Message from my kids, they are both, well, Sypha Jr., Katie Cat says she never wants to see it again. But
Don't blame her.
yeah, Sypha Jr. definitely has asked that you try to continue
Oh
the
my
series.
god.
Yeah.
There are people. I haven't seen the videos, but I've heard there are people that have lasted 6 nights, which I didn't even know that was possible, but apparently it is. I'm
Well,
like, how? I don't even. I can't even imagine that. Like,
Well, Sypha Jr. says that he'll even come over and hold your hand while you play it if you want to. So.
I might need that, man. I might need that.
Okay.
It's just,
Anyway, yeah, I really wanted to bring that up because I just got to tell you, man, well done.
Thank you.
We all genuinely enjoyed that video,
Ugh.
and there's going to be a link to that in the description. Obviously, there's going to be a link to everyone's channel, but
Right on.
specifically, make sure you go check out that video for sure because you do not have enough views on that.
Oh man.
I guess we will move on to general video gaming news.
General video gaming news.
Yeah, we need a little jingle or something.
Yeah. We can edit that in.
Yeah. Now, I want to bring up to the listeners that anything on this list isn't like top news or, the most popular news. Basically, it's just stories or little tidbits that I personally find interesting. Because, we're not aiming to make just another generic, news thing here. So, just because we mention these doesn't mean they're, big news, big goings on or like that. Just stuff that I thought was interesting, yeah. The first thing that I came across was a really interesting story here, and it was actually from Reddit, from the gaming subreddit, and it has to do with Minecraft. And I really would hope that this person would put a video out on this, because it's kind of cool. And there will be a link to this also in the description. However, there is a guy that has essentially built a fully functional 1 kilobyte hard drive in Minecraft.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a redstone project for the ages.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
obviously it was done, in creative in a super flat world.
Mhm.
But it's really cool, and it's it's not something that you're going to get a lot of function out of, but at the same time, you could just tell that even in creative, I don't know how many hours and troubleshooting, it took to make this. It is really impressive, and I will link that in the description. All right, moving on. The official release of 1.8 Minecraft is just around the corner.
Is there an official release date for that?
September 2nd, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard. The pre-release is either, I'm not sure if it's out yet or if it's coming out in the next couple of days. So we're about a little over a week away from the official 1.8 release.
Very cool. Very cool.
So won't affect us too much, but we will get a couple new things on the server.
Colored doors.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
colored
yeah.
doors. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't appear to be just colored doors. It looks like each wood has their own style of door.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
That's what Common was telling me.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of that. All right, moving away a little bit from Minecraft news here. This next bit kind of took me by surprise. Apparently, DayZ is going to be released for PlayStation 4.
Really?
Oh, I heard
And
about that.
yeah, this is, boy, it's weird on a few levels. Number one, DayZ is very much, it's Arma, man. It's a PC game,
Yeah.
and there's so many buttons and
Yeah.
hotkeys. It's obviously, to a certain extent, the PlayStation version is gonna have to be neutered
Yeah.
to
I
a
imagine.
to a certain extent. Now, the other thing is that DayZ is still an alpha,
Yeah. I was gonna say
and
it's not ready yet.
no, and I don't think there's an actual release date. And I think this is actually older news. I think this was from a few weeks ago, but I hadn't. This is the first I'd seen it. That's why I'm bringing it up. But there are so many things wrong with DayZ still. The zombies. I think they still they clipped through the walls and I remember recently playing it. There was a zombie that was like half in the ground. The AI isn't there yet. There's a lot of problems with this, and to announce a PlayStation or a console release of it, it just really puts a bad taste in my mouth.
What I was thinking was that it's highly likely, in my opinion, that the investors are pushing this on the DayZ developers in order to maximize all potential revenue streams. And regardless of the potential for having a great game or not, investors don't care about that. They only care about maximizing revenue.
Right.
This is true.
So and as far as they're concerned, more platforms the better. And if they can get them to, and actually they can, because they're the investors, they can make them do whatever they want. Basically, they can make them neuter the game, do whatever, and even if it does require like the hiring of more developers or whatever to make like a console friendly interactive UI, then they'll do that just on the basis that it's a good cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
That makes perfectly good sense. It's unfortunate, but it makes good sense. Oh, all right. Well, did anybody else have anything to say about the DayZ thing before we moved on?
I was just gonna mention how they kind of lost one of their lead developers, Rocket, a couple months back.
Yeah.
They might still be reeling from
Well,
that.
is Rocket gone? Because he had originally stated he was going to hang around with the team until its official release. But when that's a long ways off now.
I thought that he had been. I might have read wrong though.
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to leave by the end of this year. He was going to be leaving.
Oh, that could be it too. I think that they were. Yeah, I remember reading originally they had said that it'll be released by then. It's not going to be. I can tell you that. No way. So anyway, yeah, I guess I'll be watching that to see what develops. But as far as it coming to PS4, oh man, it can't be anything close to its current state.
I was going to say, I thought it was weird that they were even doing it, because Sony is, if I'm not mistaken, coming out with H1Z1, which is
well,
basically...
is that a Sony game or is that just?
I believe so.
Oh,
I think that's a Sony game.
okay.
I just thought it was weird that they were doing the DayZ thing and then also still coming out with something very similar to DayZ themselves.
It's just, and the other thing that's weird to me is that it's just there are certain things that are just PC games, and DayZ just doesn't seem to fit, what you would typically think of as a console game.
Yeah, well, and the sad part is that if they go down the console route, you're going to end up making the game for console, and then the PC version is going to be basically a console game.
I don't know how they could fit all the little details in there either, especially with hand gestures and whatnot.
I imagine
Like
that
that's
will
a
be
lot
omitted.
of scroll wheels.
I mean, it's got to be omitted. You can't possibly do the the surrender and the bird flip, and all the different. Yeah, it's just there's no way. So it's got to be neutered. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, too much speculation at this point. I imagine we'll probably retouch this subject in the future. Okay, moving on. A interesting article from the Wall Street Journal, actually. apparently women now make up almost half of all gamers.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting to me, and I wish this was kind of a last minute addition to the podcast. But it's
Do we got a breakdown by age? I mean,
that's what I'm trying. Yeah, women. Okay, but it's older female gamers. It's mainly and I don't mean older like you know what I mean. Older than teenager, adult.
those are old to you.
Well, older gamers as far as no, that's I chose my words very very poorly. I guess I would say more of our demographic.
They must be stopped
they must be embraced.
by any means necessary.
Nope, it's already too late.
Too late.
Oh man.
Too late.
Well, they just they just need to add cat skins to everything.
Yeah.
Well, they have been.
It's in Skyrim, hey.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm playing off my my knowledge, my very limited knowledge of all the female gamers I know, which is like 3.
Two of which are named Cat.
Yeah, 2 of which are named
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah.
So, okay, that pretty much rounds out any or all the actual video gaming news that I had paid attention to this week. Moving on to broader entertainment news. Oh, God bless you, Disney. That's oh man, this makes me so happy, and I guarantee it'll make you guys happy too. The original, uncut Star Wars trilogy is going to be getting Blu-ray release.
I couldn't give a shit less.
Yeah, shut up, Cruz.
Even.
Where
So original uncut without the newest like Lucas animated crap.
the original movies, the original theatrical releases, being released on Blu-ray.
Right down to not ruined Anakin at the end.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That and this will be another one where, Han shot first. I don't care what you say. Han shot first, and I someday soon will have the Blu-ray to prove it.
Man, I can't wait till that comes out so I can go out and like not spend any money on it and then spend a shitload of time not watching it.
Yeah, watching
It's
and you're
great.
gonna be watching fucking the Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh, I'll wait
Yeah,
until
we're gonna get to that. Okay. I know of this actress, but I never knew her name.
Who was this trivia?
No. Although we should do a trivia thing at some point. Okay,
That'd be cool.
that's Evangeline Lilly?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that how you am I saying her name right?
She's from Lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Lost, and she's on The Hobbit.
Yeah.
It is confirmed that she is in the Ant-Man movie.
Okay.
However, what's interesting is the speculation right now is the actual the set photos and the release photos of her character, and the way that she has her hair looks an awful lot like the Wasp from Marvel Comics. Which, if you know anything about Ant-Man, Giant Man, Wasp is his wife in the comics. So yeah, it looks like she may be one of the newest actors and actresses to take up the mantle of a Marvel hero, more specifically an Avenger.
Well, that may well be, but I think I probably speak for most humans. Nobody gives a shit about Ant-Man or his wife.
Well, I gotta tell you, okay, 1 year ago, Hijack, I guarantee if I had brought up another movie, you would have said, who gives a shit? I think I speak for all of humanity when I say that nobody gives a shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy and some talking raccoon.
Yeah.
Hey, the talking raccoon was the only one I knew about a year ago.
Okay, well, yeah, exactly. But the thing about it is that Ant-Man actually, it's the same for Giant Man. has a very, very rich history in Marvel, and he was one of the founding members of the Avengers. And
Yeah, no, I used to read like the old '80s Avengers comic books, and Ant-Man was in a lot of them.
So
And
yeah,
personally, yeah, meh.
well, that means that you're not actually speaking for the rest of humanity, then.
Yeah, I am.
No,
Yeah, I
this
am.
is actually a well. Anyway, we're not gonna harp on this too much. But anyway, yeah, any little bit of Marvel Studios news I'd like to throw up because I have enjoyed all of the movies, and I think they've all been fantastic.
And of course, you also slurp at the feet of Agents of Shield as well.
I do, yes, I do. If Agent Coulson was right, well, we'll move on.
No.
I have no man crush at all for him. I'm telling you. All right. And I think that speaking of movies, I think that Cruz had something he wanted to talk about, and I'll give him exactly
Let's-
15 seconds.
Let's talk about the new Ninja Turtles
Oh.
movie and how awesome
Do
it
we
was,
have to?
and how you guys haven't even seen it yet. Why? I don't understand why you haven't seen it.
Because
yet.
I'm poor,
I don't get
and
it.
I haven't even seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet.
I will PayPal you money to go see the Ninja Turtles movie. I won't PayPal you money for the Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh.
because it's not nearly as good.
But
I'll
can
cover
I
that.
can I see Guardians and tell you that I
Them
saw Ninja
fighting
Turtles?
words.
What's that?
Can I watch Guardians and tell you that I watched Ninja Turtles?
No, absolutely not.
God damn
There
it.
will be a quiz, and if you fail the quiz, you have to pay me back like double.
Oh,
So
This is an investment project.
I
right
don't
here.
know. I'm pretty well versed
Dude.
in Ninja Turtles mythology. I might be able to ace it without.
well, I don't know. They did change the origins a little bit, but they
Yeah,
didn't
no
ruin it by
ooze.
any means.
Oh,
No, there's
God.
ooze.
Splinter's
No, I heard-
Splinter's not a
Well-
rabbit or a hamster or anything, right?
No, he's a
Okay.
rat,
All right.
and he's actually the voice of Splinter is Tony Shalhoub.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that totally makes Splinter sound cooler.
It
No,
kind
I'm
of
just saying,
does
it's
actually.
kind of cool. I didn't.
It kinda
I wasn't
does.
expecting that.
Like, Monk was an awesome show.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
Love
man.
that show.
Yeah, I just
But yeah, it was an excellent movie. It was, I went into it optimistically. All the friends I went to see it with, they were kind of preparing for the worst. And I mean, I've seen it twice in the theaters already, and I'm gonna see it again
Wow.
probably because it was that good.
holy crap.
Dude, it was great. It was a great movie. They did not ruin the Ninja Turtles at all. I've heard a lot of shit
well,
about.
I'm going to be the judge of that because I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Well,
Are you really?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're gonna like it. I guarantee you're gonna like it.
depending
Yeah,
on the weather
we'll see.
this weekend,
You will.
the local drive-in, the double feature this weekend is Guardians of the Galaxy and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, well, there you go, man. You're
What?
set.
So yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
There's only one choice, man.
Ninja Turtles.
Guardians of the
Well,
Galaxy
no.
twice.
It's no, it's you get to watch both movies. So
Yeah.
I hope that Guardians is on first. Anyway, that doesn't matter.
So you don't pass out or something.
Dude, you guys just don't get it.
So if I
I've-
choose
I've
to,
been
I
an
can,
avid
you know.
Ninja Turtles fan since I was a child.
Me
right?
too,
Yeah,
man.
you're
And
blinded.
yeah,
You're blinded by
grew up on them.
fanboyness. That's
No.
your problem.
Dude, no way. It's an excellent movie. You're blinded by whatever you're blinded by.
Glaucoma.
You see Michael Bay is a part of this movie, and you automatically hate it. And you know what? I totally understand why you would think that.
You know what? That is a
But-
fair analogy of
Don't,
I think that you did, Cruz. I can't
Yeah,
argue with
but
that.
I mean, don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean that I understand because Michael Bay is, kind of a
Satan.
piece of shit.
Ruiner of
But
Transformers.
yeah, he did not ruin the Ninja Turtles. Like it's really good.
I
Excellent.
gotta tell you, as I lost my fucking train of thought. That I
Bad Boys
think
2.
that-
That's where you were going, right?
I might actually enjoy. I don't know because
You will.
first of all, I don't give a crap what critics say generally. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
either.
That being said, TMNT
Mr. I love
has been
Battlefield
Hey.
yeah, exactly, Cruz.
I didn't
But
love it. But
it
was a
hasn't
good movie.
it hasn't been getting terrible reviews. It's been getting mediocre reviews, which
Mhm.
honestly fills me with hope that
Yeah,
that I
exactly.
might actually enjoy it. I don't know. I guess we'll, Has anybody else seen it besides Cruz? Okay, I guess not.
No, nobody has.
No.
Because you know
No.
why? Because they suck.
I had to choose between Guardians of the Galaxy and TMNT, and I went Guardians of
Oh,
the
yeah,
Galaxy.
yeah,
You chose
exactly.
wrong.
Good
You
choice.
chose
High
wrong.
five.
Good
brother.
choice.
High
What do you mean
five.
good choice? You guys haven't even seen it. You don't even know.
I
We're
know.
about to get into a fight.
Dude,
We're about to have a cyber battle right now.
Oh god.
Cruz, we can cyber later, okay?
All right.
We gotta move on.
All right.
Okay,
fair enough.
and actually, that is pretty much all the entertainment news that I had for this particular podcast. Does anybody have anything to add to this before we move on?
I think Hijack mentioned Bad Boys 2 a minute ago, and I'd just like to say that they've actually, it's official. They're working on the script for Bad Boys 3.
Oh, the
So-
script.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh God, Jaden Smith isn't gonna be in it, is he?
No, no, I hope not.
Probably.
Hope not.
Don't
He's
give him
God.
He's gonna
ideas.
take over the role of Martin Lawrence.
Oh my! No. Martin Lawrence is in it because he was the one. He was the one that said that they were working on it, and it was it was in the works.
Well,
Well,
are you sure it's not a Michael Bay production?
If it is, I can't help but think that it's gonna be good.
You know what? I actually wouldn't mind by taking over something like that. That would be perfect with explosions and
yeah.
Well,
Car
that
wrecks and all
okay,
that
Bad
stuff.
well, Bad
they
Boys
are
is
Michael.
not a...
They are Michael Bay productions.
Are they really?
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I
They
love
were
the
good
I
movies.
love
Oh
the
my God, they
I love
are.
the Bad Boys movies. They're
Me too.
they're great for what
What
they are. They're
happened?
just popcorn flicks.
Yeah, I like the first
Yeah,
one. The
absolutely.
second one sucked rotten testicles.
Well, it
I
wasn't.
don't remember
it wasn't
the
that
second
bad.
one. But anyway,
I mean, it had a few moments, but it was basically the best parts of it were just the violence.
Of course.
I remember the biggest thing I remember was the chick from the first one.
Aya Leone,
Is that her name?
believe.
She hasn't really done much, has she?
she married David Duchovny.
That lucky
Oh.
bastard.
They just got
That lucky
divorced like
lady.
last week.
Oh, so she's
Oh,
available.
well,
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
She's probably a lot older than I remember her though, but man, does she look good in a skirt. But anyway, this is
But she looks good in pants too. Come to think of it, just putting that out there.
well, I'll take your word for it. Hey,
Just go see the Ninja Turtles movie. You won't regret it. It's great.
Make sure you forward all complaints to nfellandrykelm at
You know what?
hatemail.com.
I'm gonna wake up to an empty inbox.
no, Hijack is right now creating 50 alternate,
yeah, no
email
shit.
addresses to tell you how much you suck.
Oh, it sucked. Oh man. No, it's
All
great.
right. Well, moving on away from entertainment news, I thought that at least we would try this little segment where I would like to talk about a couple science news stories going on that caught my eye. So this might not interest everybody, but the podcast is kind of a nerdy thing, and science news is definitely nerdy news. So we're gonna do it because it's my name on the podcast. That's why.
Go for it, man. Do your thing.
All right, let me pull up the only a couple things to touch on. Something really interesting. Apparently, they're finding out that either HIV or the anti-HIV drugs that the patients are give have some sort of a very effective protection against multiple sclerosis.
Oh, that is interesting.
Well, that's particularly interesting in light of the fact that both HIV, AIDS is an autoimmune disorder, so is multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
So, that's sort of interesting. It's and one would suspect from that it's the treatment, the antiretrovirals. I would suspect, or is it the cocktail? What is it?
I don't know much about the HIV treatment, so this is very promising news though. Well, obviously, if HIV is the treatment, then it's not that promising. But
But also at the same time, you also look at it the other way. Since multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disorder in where the body attacks itself, and since AIDS or HIV attacks the immune system and damaging and destroying it, once the immune system is destroyed, then it can no longer destroy the body via multiple sclerosis. In which case,
there
it's
you
kind
go.
of that's probably the more likely scenario.
well, let's hope that it has something to do with the treatment. Now, as far as I can tell, the HIV, whatever this is, doesn't. Well, there's no news on whether or not it could be any kind of a treatment for multiple sclerosis, but more of a protection against it. Almost, not a vaccine, but you get what I'm saying.
Mhm.
A preventative measure. So it's interesting. Little news bit. It's a
So I'm guessing the statistics are showing that AIDS-affected populations are less likely to suffer multiple sclerosis.
yes, 60% less likely.
Yeah, and since AIDS destroys the immune system, and it's the immune system in multiple sclerosis that destroys the body, and that kind of makes a lot of sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll hopefully that will develop and they'll find some big discoveries in there. Moving on from there, the second little bit that I have. Now this is very early and nothing major is accomplished. It's more of a proof of concept. But apparently, the first ever time a brain-to-brain, direct brain-to-brain communication has taken place. Through non-invasive methods, mediated, through the internet. So,
No shit.
Yeah. So now nothing major has happened, but like I said, it's a proof of concept. So what this means is that we are all closer to our machine overlords, turning us into a fuel source.
Ah,
The Matrix is
ready.
here.
and much closer to the supposed singularity as well.
Exactly. This is pretty interesting. And again, hi Jack, I'm sure you'll want to read about this, so I'll link it to you after the podcast so you could read it through
Thank
if you'd
you.
like. And the link will also be in the podcast notes when it goes live. This isn't so much a news tidbit, but more of a nitpick on me. There was some news about graphene recently. I don't even know what it was. I don't care. The
Okay.
point that I want to make is something, and maybe I'm wrong. You can change my mind, okay? Every time I see graphene mentioned, and I've even heard scientists, physicists and chemists say this before. They talk about graphene as being a two-dimensional material.
Well,
take issue with
from a
that.
certain perspective, yeah.
From a certain perspective, I see their point. However, okay.
Obviously, it's
Jack,
not literally two-dimensional.
Well, yeah, but that's what they keep. That just irritates me because it's one atom thick. That means that it has a thickness of one atom, which means it is three-dimensional.
Yeah, but when they're looking at it, they're looking at a plane. So that they're saying from the perspective of viewing it, it's a two-dimensional.
Yeah,
And
but
you-
they call
and-
it
and
call
if
it a two-dimensional material. That's what I keep hearing it referred to as, and it's not.
No, obviously not. But were you a two-dimensional being living on a plane of graphene, and even if the plane of graphene was rolled up, it would still seem perfectly flat and uninteresting to you. Thus,
Yes, this is true,
two-dimensional.
but technically, if you were a two-dimensional being on a sheet of paper, you could say the same thing.
No, but cause on a sheet of paper, you'd be falling down all the time because it's all the fucking ruts and whatnot, and the imperfections on the surface.
That's very true. All right, point to you. All right. Anyway, that was just something that kind of irks me. But again, it's just a difference in terminology.
No, they're being non-specific, I
Yeah,
guess.
see, to me, a two-dimensional thing is, a shadow is two-dimensional. That's obviously not
a shadow.
thing,
A shadow is not a thing, though.
Well, I realize that it's not an actual thing, but when I think, but a shadow is an example of,
There are no
Something is
two-dimensional things.
correct, because all things are made out of atoms. Made out of leptons and quarks, I guess we
Yeah,
could say.
matter. How about
And those have definable.
three-dimensional contours and
exactly.
facets?
Yes. So anyway, all right. Well, enough of that science crap. Let's move on to a couple talking points that I have, and this kind of ties in with a couple things that I mentioned earlier. Did you guys hear any of the news and slight controversy around the new Tomb Raider?
No.
Yes.
Is she not
No.
naked enough?
Probably not. But basically what's going on is that the new Tomb Raider was announced as being an Xbox One exclusive, right? Did I get that mixed up? Xbox One exclusive?
You're right.
Okay. And then shortly thereafter, it came out that, well, no, it's not an exclusive, but it is a delayed launch for it to be multi-platform.
Semi-exclusive.
Oh yeah, they're goofy.
Yeah. And
Yeah, they worded it really goofily in their original release. Yeah, whole news on it.
yep, and I don't care about Tomb Raider. I never have. I've never enjoyed Tomb Raider games. The topic that I wanted to talk about was actually multi-platform games and platform-specific. Now, one problem, I wanted to talk about this when I heard the news story. And then I listened to a lot of podcasts and a lot of, audio stuff throughout the week. And Total Biscuit talked about this subject, and God, I knew as soon as he started talking about it, I should have turned it off because I wanted to, bring my own view to it. And it's impossible that if you hear someone else talking about a subject and you agree with, they're obviously, going to taint, well, not taint, but what the hell am I trying to say? Yeah, color your view of it. And so I'm going to be, to a certain extent, repeating some of the stuff that Total Biscuit said. But I think we could take it a little bit further, and add my kind of opinion to it. There are certain times when platform-specific titles work out good, and there's a point for them, okay? Now, typically, when you have a platform-specific game, it's going to be because it was developed by an in-house developer for that console, whether it's, the PlayStation or the Xbox, or obviously, Nintendo. Everything that, a lot of the stuff on the Wii is, created in-house by Nintendo and their first-party developers. So obviously, they're going to be platform-specific.
Mm-hmm.
However, something like Tomb Raider, being developed by a third-party company, and taking, however much money from Microsoft to make sure that it's out on the Xbox One before out on other consoles. I know there's nothing that can be done about this, but it irritates me because it doesn't benefit anyone except for Microsoft and I don't even know who makes Tomb Raider. What?
Square Enix, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they do?
I believe so.
Really?
Oh,
I could possibly
that's-
be wrong. Let me
oh.
double check that.
yeah. Look, check that for me real quick if you could.
Not that it matters, because nobody gives a
doesn't
shit
matter,
about Tomb Raider, but...
Well, a
I've
lot
got
of people.
the new one was actually pretty good.
Well,
Like the
so-
newest one.
Well, the
Oh.
point is that a lot of people do. I don't, and nobody I personally know, but it is an extremely popular title.
The movies
Enix.
suck.
Square
Yeah.
Enix.
She has
Okay.
a nice ass. I give her...
Okay, so yes, Kitty was right. Square Enix. So this, and a lot of Microsoft fanboys, obviously. Oh yeah, we're getting it before you do, or even if it wasn't a delayed release, even if it was an absolute exclusive, it still doesn't benefit the Xbox owners, or the exclusive Xbox fanboys, because how long until the PlayStation gets an exclusive that they don't? These types of deals don't benefit anyone. Now, there are certain circumstances where a platform-specific title works. For example, Bayonetta 2 is going to be a Wii U exclusive. And the reason for this, essentially, this is a bit watered down, but the first Bayonetta, even though it was a very well-received game, wasn't exactly a big seller. So because of that, if you have one game that isn't a big seller, you're probably not going to release a sequel for it. And that was the situation, whereas Nintendo came along and said, hey, we will fund, we will completely or partially or however, fund the development of this game. You just bring it out on the Wii U itself.
Mhm.
So that makes sense to me because the game probably wouldn't have happened.
No, I can see how, getting exclusive titles is very valuable to a particular console. I mean, for example, having Zelda is great for Nintendo.
Yes. Well,
Having
that's
Halo is great for Xbox. And
Yes.
for a long time, having Final Fantasy was great for PlayStation.
Yeah.
correct. And that's what I mentioned. Those obviously that's that's going to happen, and you can't gripe about that because that is first party, first or second party development games. What I'm talking about is a complete third party that takes money specifically to keep.
Well, outside of like that small pool of games, every game is available on every platform in this day and age. So it doesn't really matter. Maybe you have to wait a couple months. It doesn't really matter.
Speaking of, this is a little off the subject, but not really. I heard today that it's official that Metal Gear Solid 5 will be released on the PC. Which was
nice. Good.
Before it was, a PlayStation exclusive. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Well. And of course, when we start talking about these things, it makes me think of like Morrowind and how it was ported to the console after the fact.
Xbox.
And then Oblivion and Skyrim had their UIs designed for console.
Yes.
And sucked.
Yeah.
That is a point. Yes, that is a point I was bringing up because
There's
Look,
mods
yes,
for that.
Thank
yes.
God there are mods
Yeah,
for that.
and one of the things I was thinking about in making this is that when you if you're specifically designing a game for a specific platform, it means that you don't have to worry about making sure that this interface will work, across all platforms. You can take specific advantage of the strengths of that particular, the particular hardware you're using. For example, I know none of you care about Nintendo, but for example, like Pikmin 3 works out wonderfully on the Wii U, and one of the reasons it's such a fun game is because of the Wii U's interface and how you control things and with the touchpad and everything. So it wouldn't work very well on on any other platform. And then you have the case of Skyrim, and the game that actually stuck out in my brain was actually DC Universe Online, where everything. Now DC Universe does a little bit better of a job of hiding it, but it's no doubt that this was designed with console in mind.
I bought it on the console first, actually.
Yeah, navigating everything with a controller. So that kind of stuff is annoying. But I think that manufacturers could do a much better job, especially in menu options, of not making everything so generic. There's no reason for it to be that.
No,
bad.
they could spend like a week's worth of man hours just to make a fucking decent PC menu system.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, we get stuck with this shit ass console interaction. It's just terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things that obviously I've only played Skyrim for half an hour, and that was one of the things that I noticed was this was designed with a controller in mind.
Yeah, that is a game that is made for hotkeys, and it doesn't have them.
There are hotkeys. You can, they're hotkeys.
In
Well,
what?
not in what you can. I mean, for like a strictly PC game, as far as hotkeys go, there's way more that Skyrim could have done.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, you need to install Sky UI. Just.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Sky.
Just saying,
I'm just putting that out there.
the game itself, as it was
As it
put
was made,
together
yeah.
and sold, it's not. Yeah, I mean,
We have,
obviously,
like,
it is made with.
Like 8 hotkeys or something with the D-pad or some crap.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's almost a shame that for so many games, it almost has to be a system exclusive for it to be refined perfectly for that system.
Mhm.
When a lot of the things bumble,
Yeah.
or not bumble, when a lot of things just basically come down to menu and inventory interaction and things that can easily be tweaked. And I know they can be easily tweaked because independent modders obviously do it, like you just said, with the Skyrim mod.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many companies have that in mind. It's like, we'll let the modders do it. We don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's a
that's
good point.
poor business practice, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
That's terrible. That just shows laziness.
Yeah,
well,
but
yeah, but I mean,
sure
at the end of the
happens.
day, a ton of people will
Mojang
mod
says
the game
that all the time.
yeah, exactly.
Well, no. They're not talking about expecting modders to fix a flaw in their game.
No. Well, it's not a
You know.
flaw. It's just an inconvenience.
The Skyrim
I don't
menu
know.
is a
no,
flaw.
Yeah, and so is the Oblivion
Well,
fucking menu system.
You can look at it. Well,
Oh, God.
I don't care for it, but you can't. I mean, it's not a flaw. They
It's
designed it to be
functional.
on. Yeah, they designed it to be on consoles, and that's how it works on consoles. It's not a flaw, but it's, you know,
But it is a flaw on the PC.
on the
Because
PC.
they,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
So on the console versions, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's
nobody mods for fucking Xbox.
Well, I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's
Maybe they
not
do, I don't
a
know.
typical thing. It's not. It's definitely not as easy.
Tend to hack more
Yeah,
than
it's
mod.
different.
So
But
anyway,
I do wonder if companies keep that in mind. Like, all right, well, this isn't ideal, but if we leave it open to modding, they'll do whatever they want to do with it, and then it'll be fine.
That's when it would take them fucking like $300 to do it right.
Yeah, but why spend the
Why spend
300 if someone will
$300?
do it for free?
well, yeah,
Exactly.
I'm definitely not saying you're necessarily wrong. I don't think Hijack is either. But if that is the case, then it's something that would piss me off.
Yeah.
If that is a
Yeah.
conscious decision by a company, it's like it's incomplete or it's flawed in some way, but the community will fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it probably comes from PC gamers losing their clout with the industry, because I know a lot of people who own a console and don't own a PC, more so than people that only own
Yeah.
PCs. And also with all the pirating that's been pretty much PC exclusive over the last couple years,
Yeah.
we don't really have that
Well,
way
and-
in with
and
the
that-
company. They design more towards
Yeah,
consoles
yeah,
now
they
because
absolutely,
they're safer
they
investment.
absolutely do. And that's typically why whenever there is a PC release, it is delayed by months or maybe even a
Yeah.
year, because they've already milked the console cow for all they can. They've sold the majority of the copies they're going to sell by this point. And if they release it on PC, it's going to be pirated, but there's going to be legitimate sales. So that's one of the reasons I suspect anyway of why when there is a PC release, it's delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like GTA 5 is, I think, coming to PC, and it's like, what, a year
Yes.
or so later?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, GTA, they designed the games to be on console. It
Yeah,
was the
very
same
much
way
so.
with GTA 4. It was like a year
Yeah.
or so before it came to PC.
No,
Well, in
fuck
GTA
them and their
4
social club that they make you join. Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Rockstar
yeah,
douchebags.
Social club.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
that sucks.
loved Vice City. I loved San
Dude, yeah,
Andreas.
man.
I was trying to play
Yeah.
GTA 4, and I'm spending there like two
You
and a
have to
half
fucking
hours
make an
navigating
account
the
with fucking-
retarded
Oh.
ass social club, and then
GTA
logging
4
into
was
their
a
social
nightmare.
club. Oh, get the
GTA
fuck.
4 was an amazing game, man. It was a good game. But yeah, on
Yeah.
the PC, you have to sign up for that stupid shit. It's dumb.
Played episodes from Liberty City, and that's it.
well,
I didn't want
I'm
to deal
sure
with
there's
it.
a mod for that.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, a hat. Yeah, a
hack.
pirate version.
Well, I'm sure you could.
I'm sure there's a
I'm sure
cracked
you
version
could
that functions
apply
better.
cracks to legitimate copies as well to bypass all that crap.
I just might.
I'm sure it's possible.
Actually,
though.
I uninstalled it. I got so pissed off with it the other day. I just fucking uninstalled all my Grand Theft Auto off my computer. They got sick of their retarded fucking social club.
Wow, you were jaded. Damn. It's like breaking up with a girlfriend. I'm uninstalling all of your software.
Burning all this shit.
Felt good too. It felt really good. I feel liberated. I'm free.
Getting all nostalgic for San Andreas. Dang it. Yeah.
I actually haven't really. I did briefly play GTA 4, not on my PC, but on PC, and it was a nightmare to control, especially the vehicles. I remember that. But as far as GTA, I haven't really played it since, Vice City, I think, was the last one that I
Mm.
really
The
played.
golden age.
Yeah. GTA 4 was really good. I played it and beat it. I mean, it was a pretty short game. It took me like 30 hours or something. But yeah, I couldn't use the keyboard and mouse. I had to use the gamepad.
Driving was fucking hard. To be fucking
Yeah.
on fucking speed or something, man. Fucking focus.
another game that is a nightmare to control. Okay, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take keyboard and mouse.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that obviously depends on the game itself. But man, have any of you played the Deadpool game?
No, but I've heard
No.
that I should play
No,
it.
no.
Because I've heard it's really
man, it is a nightmare
good.
to play with keyboard and mouse.
Ooh,
What
yeah.
happens is you have your typical WASD movement, right?
Mhm.
Now the mouse buttons fire, or okay, so the right mouse button zooms your weapon, and the left mouse button fires, your weapon. But to melee, you don't switch it back. You don't switch back and forth between your melee and your ranged weapons. To fight with your ranged weapons, you use Q and E. So imagine trying to move, like strafe and do your circle strafe or whatever you're trying to do, maneuver around the board,
Oh, yeah.
while moving your fingers off A and D to hit Q and E.
You have to
Oh,
bunch up
dear.
all your fingers up
Yeah.
there at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It is a nightmare, and the real bad thing with the Deadpool game, and this is becoming a trend on the PC, I notice, is that it's not just a plug and play to accept any controller. If you don't use an Xbox 360 controller on the PC, then you're going to have to use like third-party controller emulating software to get a controller to work.
What?
Yeah, just a standard like Logitech controller, for example, will not work out of the box.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
you have to
actually
use.
That's actually a huge problem for me because I have tiny hands and Xbox controllers they're too big for me. I can't use them. I can't reach the buttons, the joysticks. So like I'm actually looking into getting a gamepad and I'm looking for a PlayStation one, and yeah, it's a problem getting them to work with games, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a piece of software, Kitty, that can help you out.
Yep.
It's called Xpadder.
Oh,
Oh, I've heard of
What's
that.
that?
It is basically it's like a keyboard emulator. You can remap whatever keys on your keyboard to any controller you have plugged in.
okay. I will
So
definitely have to look
yeah,
into
so
that.
like your D-pad, for example, you just remap the WASD to the D-pad on the controller or the analog sticker, or however
Okay.
you want to do it, and it works great, works flawlessly.
Yeah, I was actually looking into getting one of the Logitech ones that were in like the PlayStation design, but I did hear that there are problems getting it to work with games and stuff. So
Yeah, but only it's not a problem because of it's not Logitech's problem. It's those game developers,
Right.
specifically making sure that it only works with an Xbox 360 controller.
yeah,
But yeah, Kitty, I have the Logitech cordless Rumble,
okay.
cordless Rumble 2. And to be perfectly honest with you, I wish that I had not gone with the cordless version. My son or my daughter actually has the corded version,
Okay.
and it's nice because
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
it's,
get.
yeah, it's just as responsive, but you don't have to change batteries.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sitting here right next to my tower is a foot away from me. Would a cord really have been that cumbersome? Typically I get corded stuff all the time.
Mm.
But they definitely does seem to eat through the batteries. But yeah, the Logitech stuff, it's the exact same form factor as the typical DualShock,
Yeah.
PlayStation DualShock controller. It's anyway.
Okay.
I would have to say that the Xbox controller is more comfortable for me. I've never owned an Xbox. I've always been a a PlayStation like fanboy or whatever. I've always had PlayStations, but when I started doing a lot of PC gaming, and I needed a controller, the Xbox controller is just far superior to the. Now I don't know about the PlayStation 4 because I actually have not
It's the
haven't used
same
one,
form
but
factor, I think, isn't it? It's just
I
it's just
think it
another
is.
DualShock.
I think they've changed it quite a bit. I've
Well,
heard
they
a
have
lot of
that
good things
like
about it.
a
It's like a
trackpad like in the
touchpad.
middle of it. Yeah.
Yeah, on the front.
Oh,
and
but I
back.
think the layout's still the same.
The
though.
layout's the
Yeah.
same, but I think it's bigger, which is cool. And I like the Xbox controller because it seems heavier, and it's just I don't know I don't know I enjoy
Okay,
it. But
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I prefer keyboard and mouse, but if I have to, that would be the
He
controller
likes
that I
the
would choose.
Xbox because it has more girth.
I
Oh,
am a
he likes
fan
the-
of girth.
You're a size queen.
We don't all have giant hands. Some of us need smaller controllers.
Well, I can tell you as far as controllers go, I find the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controller both very comfortable depending on the game I'm playing. For example, if I am playing a game that I will use the D-pad for, like a fighting game, for example, or
Like a racing
or
game or something.
I don't know, a D-pad on a racing game.
Oh, maybe not the D-pad. I'm thinking analog stick.
No. If I want to use the D-pad for something like a fighting game, I can't play a fighting game with an analog stick. No way.
Right.
Or a side scroller, something like that.
Yeah.
Then PlayStation controller all the way, because the natural resting position for the thumb is right on the D-pad. However, if I'm playing something where the analog stick is more in the position where the D-pad is, then I'm going to use then I would much prefer a Wavebird, the GameCube controller, or an Xbox controller for comfort. And on the opposite side of that, if I'm playing a game for one of those consoles that uses the D-pad, you have to move your thumb to such an unnatural position to use the D-pad on either of those controllers, and I hate that. Whereas to use the analog stick on the PlayStation controller, your thumb has to be down lower and more, in my opinion, unnatural. So for me, that really depends on the game I'm playing.
True. Makes sense.
All right. The last bit that I had may or may not be an interesting subject, but it was something that I was kind of thinking about earlier in the week. Take, for example, the Erebus,
Okay.
a mod for Minecraft. That mod, which was developed just by, a small group of people, enthusiasts for something, has brought me more enjoyment than pretty much any game, like standalone game in months and months and months. And it kind of got me thinking that, the reason for that, obviously it's just, the Erebus is just kind of the thing that I like.
Yeah.
But is that this wasn't a project set out to make money necessarily. This was, they had an idea for something they thought would be enjoyable, and they did it. Whereas a lot of games, full release, big title games, they're there to make money.
Yeah.
That is their primary purpose. And I just, I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You have something, all this money goes into, marketing and development. And I get more enjoyment out of something that a small group of people did, and have received very little, if no money because of it.
Seems pretty natural to me, to be perfectly honest. I mean,
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's just something that I had never really thought about before.
Just like the guy who's passionate about, the Elder Scrolls, and he fucking sees the shitty ass user interface,
And he
says, fuck this, I'm making it right, and created Sky UI.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's a perfect example, actually. And yeah, Sky UI is it's a necessity now.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Just like the
I
Erebus
wish I'd
is,
realized
and
it.
the Twilight Forest,
Oh yeah.
Same thing.
Oh yeah.
That's,
Oh yeah, the Twilight Forest is oh man, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
We should add
Definitely,
it to our vanilla.
I would. I'd be cool with that. Let's add thermal expansion too.
No.
Oh dear.
Industrial craft experimental,
And
maybe, but
portal gun. Yeah. Dark craft.
Oh
It's still
god,
vanilla.
Darkcraft.
teleport craft.
Oh.
Yep.
Teleport
Is there
craft.
such a thing?
Probably.
That's basically
That
Portal
is
mod.
basically Darkcraft.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm which something I haven't talked about. We haven't talked about the podcast. Is that on the Joker pack, we are disallowing any means of instantaneous transportation.
Yep. No miscraft.
And yeah,
No portal.
no miscraft, no portal,
No
no
portal,
portal
man.
gun mod, and I couldn't be happier about it.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, one of the something fun in Minecraft is building a rail line.
Mm-hmm.
or building a road, something that I've been doing in the vanilla pack the past couple weeks, and I've been having a blast with it, and actually using it. It gives you a real sense of accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
Now in modded Minecraft, a big travesty are things like Railcraft and Traincraft that are in so many mod packs, and yet because of Miscraft or Portal mod, nobody hardly ever actually uses
Yeah.
these
Well,
mods.
I mean, it's all about if you want to play Feed the Beast, you're obviously, most of the time you want to be able to instantaneously get from A to B, just like you build the quarry pluses and all that, because you instantaneously want all this ore and stuff. And it's like, the option is there, but I think a lot of people choose to use Miscraft just because it's instant and they don't have to put a lot of work into it.
Very convenient is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool for what it is. I don't
and
hate it.
And speaking of the Joker pack, we're not gonna have quarries.
No quarries, yeah.
And I think we should do it with Tesseracts as well.
Ooh.
Yes, I am.
Now
I'm actually.
Yeah, start crying,
fucking.
Cruz.
Now you're kind of making me mad here. No, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Confucius say, destination not more important than journey.
I don't think he ever said
Well,
that, did he?
You know what? There is.
I'm sure he said something along those lines. He actually has like a whole lot
Isn't
of very
there
good quotes.
there's a some sort of something in Ender.io. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically a tesseract, but it requires power. And I think that would be okay, right?
And
I
we should
mean,
ban that
Well,
too.
What's
my
ban that too.
yeah,
Fucker.
my big thing with tesseracts and ender tanks and things like that, and this is just my pet peeve, and I know that this is not going to be very popular, but I hate the concept of just setting up your ender tank or your tesseract and your pump in the nether and pumping out infinite energy.
Yeah, I love that though.
Yeah, it's
so great.
It's easy, you know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's an easy way to get power, but it's like, you still, I mean, you can still spend a lot of time making really extravagant stuff too, I mean, it's all about preference,
Oh yeah, I get that, and I can't really justify my view on that, and and I know this is going to be an open debate, and a big bloody battle.
Well, I'm totally cool with banning all that stuff. I mean, I'm still gonna play it. I'm just
Well, I know that I know that you're gonna go along with it. You're basically tofu. You're like, yeah, whatever.
yeah, pretty much.
I'll go with that. But I know that that's that's not going to be a very popular opinion among a lot of people.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I
mean,
foresee.
it'll
But-
definitely add a challenge and a new way to try to figure shit out, which is cool.
Just had a thought. The quantum bridges for AE, are those still in?
Yes.
Yeah, they should be. You mean in AE2 or?
Yeah.
Or yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
AE2 now.
Yeah.
I've been
They'll-
I've been out of
Yeah,
Flight
they'll-
Energistics for a little
that'll
while.
still be around.
Okay, so there still will be a way to transfer items
Well,
and liquids.
I mean,
At a more end game capacity.
Yeah, but that's like super expensive to make the
Yeah.
quantum bridge or whatever the fuck it's called. It's not like in your chest.
no.
And I think,
Yeah,
personally, I think we should
yeah.
just keep like vanilla ender chests, but get rid of like the chicken chunk ones.
Yeah.
I was actually going to talk about that, and I think that's going to be another one that really ticks people off. But I'm actually kind of in favor of that because people, I know there's a use for having multiple of the ender chests and everything, but a lot of people don't really utilize that. And and I know we have a beefy server now, but man, I gotta tell you, the ender tanks they were the
They
big
bog it down.
freaking latency
Yeah.
causers. It was never necessarily one or the other doing it, but it was just all of them together.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people start using them for everything, even like water.
Yeah.
And, but I don't know. I've used them in the past. I didn't use them at all actually in the Joker pack. Yeah, but then again, this is me trying to force my playstyle on other people, and I don't know where to
Well,
cut
here's
the
the thing,
line,
man.
to draw the line with that.
We all agreed to join you because it was your, it's your
but
creation, man.
our community, notice that I never call it my community, okay?
Mhm.
Our community has evolved way past that at this point.
Yeah, but
And there's other things to consider. And yeah, that's all.
I see what
I
you
don't
mean.
know.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm up for it. Like when things get too easy, that's kind of when things get boring.
Well, and the other thing is, in the Joker pack itself, those things, the easy way out seems to be counter what we were going for in general. Doing everything being more of a challenge. And what is more, what's easier than dropping your endothermic pump down in an ocean of lava and instantly having it transported to your base in another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But imagine doing that with infernal mobs and zombie awareness and all that.
We did. Well, we did it with infernal mobs.
We did, yeah.
Infernals, yeah.
Now, of course, we had Lycanites mobs, lobbers everywhere in the Nether.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, good lord.
Jesus. I like Lycanites mobs, but man, some of those things are just a little out of control, man.
Well, yeah, everything, we got to find a certain balance for everything.
Yeah.
And can the Lycanites mobs can be infernal as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
they
Holy
can.
crap.
Oh, jeez.
See, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. If ever, because I believe in the spirit of the Joker pack, which is not supposed to be blood and bones, but it's supposed to be difficult.
Oh yeah.
I think that you should come across the occasional mob that you can't fight.
Yeah.
That will wreck you, that you have to run from, or you have to devise some way to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I know that the answer to that in the Joker pack, the last Joker pack, was Safari Net.
Oh yeah.
Safari Net, and that's and I get that. That's the cheaty way out as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but in the beginning, man, we didn't have any Safari nets.
No.
And we had to be clever. We had to fight them. We had to team up, or we had to trap them. We had to devise them redstone traps.
Devise a plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Classic. It was great.
I remember.
And it's Seamus.
And I never
Seamus.
used a Safari Net for that.
The infernal
And-
withers.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God. Oh, that Rector face.
Man.
The infernal
I
withers,
remember
man.
in the Erebus
Going so
and
well up until then.
in the Erebus on the last pack, the Erebus had just an insane spawn rate of everything.
Oh yeah, it was turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of that, there was obviously a crap load of infernal mobs in the Nether, or in the
Erebus.
the Erebus. Damn.
Ugh, those things.
And well, that was so cool though, because I always, even if I was out trying to do something, there was always this decision. Crap, I need to kill these wasps, or those things are right where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
There's this nasty infernal right there. Do I fight it? Do I run from it?
Yeah.
And no matter, and I never really went and got any crazy armor or anything like that, but even late game with my jetpack, with my strong tinker tools, there was this constant threat of death.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. That's what the Joker pack is supposed to be, in my opinion, is a constant threat of death. You can and might lose everything you have on you. Which is, by the way, something else that I kind of wanted to talk about. Maybe this is the time, but isn't it possible with AE to have a device with you that lets you access your inventory from anywhere?
Well, no, you have to be within a certain range.
Not
Yeah.
from anywhere.
I think,
Oh,
I think
okay,
the
I
max
gotcha.
range is like 32 blocks, is it?
Yeah.
I think that's the max.
Might be
With all
it
the
might,
upgrades.
it might
Yeah,
be
with all the
64. But still,
Maybe
that's
in the
not very
newest
far.
one, yeah.
Are you sure
I'm
about
positive.
that?
And the farther away you are, the more power it
However,
uses.
if you there is a way to get around that with logistics pipes because
Logistics pipes, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
that's
the
the
logistics
one.
pipes will give you if you
Common head.
Yeah, you can interface apply logistics with logistics pipes, and you get a thing that you could like access it anywhere.
Okay.
I've
yeah.
never done that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Hey, the wireless
You're-
AE access comes in handy if you don't, abuse it
You know,
like
but
that.
it's only useful in your house, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But it's great for
Well,
building.
that's fine. That's I get that. It's something that I'm going to use, but I get that. But we definitely need to find and try to get rid of any exploits that would let you access it from anywhere
Yeah.
like that.
I'm cool with that. Yeah,
Um, Yeah, because that's
but that's cheating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if you are out mining or whatever, every time you get something, you just throw it in your
Yep.
AE system so you don't lose anything. Or oh crap, I'm gonna die. Let me open this up and throw all my
Mhm.
all my gear in here.
All my good shit.
Yeah, that's crap. That's gotta go.
Well, then that kind of brings up the whole ender pouch thing. What about that? Because
yeah,
I mean,
that,
technically you can do that.
Exactly, and I'm well. That's part of the.
Is that part of the the ender chest thing?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is right. Oh yeah, it absolutely
Yeah.
is. So that might be gone. I'm not going to use it either way, but I don't know. I guess that's a discussion for our next meeting
Right on.
with Dutch and to talk about what's going in, what's going out. But I think we're still going to be a little ways away from the release of the pack yet.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that's still in early alpha
Yeah.
as far as mods go that it's to release it in the state of a lot of mobs. I think would just be a really foolish move.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I think that unless anybody else has anything to talk about, I think we've run out of stuff to talk about.
Actually, I did have one question. I was going to ask if anyone's made any recent game purchases and what they were.
As a matter of fact, I did. I bought a game called Invisible Inc. Invisible Incorporated. Based on what a friend of mine at work told me about it, and I just went ahead and bought it, and it's actually pretty cool. I haven't played a whole lot of it. I played through like the tutorial section in the beginning, and it's pretty cool. It's like a strategy game, but like the art direction is really cool. It's like kind of cartoony / comic booky, I would say.
Like cell shaded.
Yeah, kind of like that. I think that's what you would call it. But yeah, it seems pretty cool. It's stealthy, kind of high tech sort of thing. It's pretty fun.
Oh, will we be seeing a Cruz Plays LP?
That's possible.
on this?
Possible. Very possible.
Well, I'm gonna buy Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights. Oh yeah,
Oh.
which is available on Steam right now.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said that earlier or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
did make it to
yesterday.
Steam?
Oh, nice.
It's
Good
double.
for them.
It's double the
Okay.
price though. It's $5.
I know. I'm gonna break the bank with this
Uh,
shit.
Oh, no.
It's worth
Well,
it. It's
I
worth it.
actually looked on their website, and I think on their website it's listed as $5 as well.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, I got it through shit. What's that program called? Desura. Yeah.
Mm.
This-
And it was
Desura? Yeah.
$250. So
I've never
Not bad.
even heard of that.
yeah, I hadn't either until I wanted to get that game, and that was like the only way I could find to get it.
Is it like a
Yeah, it's-
Steam type service, or is it just a website,
I
or
don't
what is
know. I don't think it's like Steam. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what it's. I mean, I in order to get that game, I had to go through Desura. That's all I know about it. I didn't look into it.
Yeah, it was like I guess it was kind of the original indie haven for
Okay.
game developers. But it I don't know with the whole Steam Greenlight
Yeah, it's
thing. It's
obsolete now.
Yeah, I know. That when I got Project Zomboid at first, it was only available on Desura,
okay.
I believe.
All right, guys, that is gonna be it for this podcast. Seamus, thank you for joining us this week.
man.
Yay, Seamus!
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening, rather. And we hope we'll see you next time.
Also, remember to see the new Ninja Turtles movie because it's great.
I'm editing that out.